Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rukakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayu from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight coming at you with some more news and prophecy with the same scriptures that you're tired of. All right, the same scriptures that you're tired of. All right, that's going to be the title of tonight's lesson. All right, now tonight I have a couple of articles, all right, that I want to get into. I have a couple of articles I want to, skim over. I more so want to get into the precepts. I'm just going to really skim over these articles. I have a lot of them, pulled up, going into the different signs of the times, and these same scriptures that Jake claims they tired of, all right, little do they know, or little do they realize, all right, those same scriptures that we've been reading about day in and day out for months, for years, all right, for some, like the elders and apostles, for decades, are now starting to play themselves out and are now starting to manifest themselves in reality. And that's the power of rehearsal, all right, because as we rehearse these things, as these things play out, and as, these different calamities hit the earth, we're not surprised, we're not shocked, we're not put in a state of stupor, all right, rather we're put in a state of joy, in a sense, because we realize, all right, that the Lord is moving on our behalf as he said he would, according to his word. But nevertheless, all right, let's jump straight into it, So this first article, I'm really just going to get into the titles, and if you want to read the whole articles yourself, you can look up the title and go read it for yourself, But this first one is entitled, Up to 80% of Workers Could See Jobs Impacted by AI. All right, and what does the scriptures tell us in the book of Ecclesiastes 12? All right, same old tired scripture, right? Wrong. All right, it says Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3 says, "In the day," well, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." All right, and right now, the keepers of the house are trembling. All right, the keepers of your house are your different economic forecasters and so on and so forth. All right, who keep a watch over, basically the foundation of America. All right, and these different keepers of the house are trembling. All right, Peter Schiff and men alike, are all starting to foretell the downfall of America Babylon the Great through its monetary system and through its new development in AI. All right. This next article was from Peter Schiff, right? Peter Schiff. Bank bailouts will devalue the dollar. All right. That's a keeper of the house. Foretelling of the grinding ceasing. All right. Foretelling of the up and coming economic collapse. All right. Which is prophesied. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3 again. "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and you shall rise up at the voice of the bird." Let's get this in Isaiah chapter 19. And verse 15, it says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail branch or rush may do. All right, and America is the modern day Egypt. All right, along with the modern day Nineveh. All right, as well as modern day Babylon. All right, Assyria, Sodom, Gomorrah, Rome. All right, Greece. Excuse me. All right, America is the modern day Egypt. All right, and just as the precept says, just as the scripture says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. All right, and right now the Lord is shaking his hand. All right, through this economic, through the midst of this economic collapse. All right, through the midst of this social unrest. All right, through the midst of this stirring up of World War III. All right, through the midst of the infrastructure for this MOTB being set up. This is the Lord shaking his hand. All right, in Egypt, all right, America is being put in a state of fear. All right, it's being put in a state of fear, just as the Lord said would happen. And this is coming from the same old scriptures that you're tired of. What we're witnessing today is a product of the precepts that you're tired of. And really, how can you be tired and bored with this truth? How can you be tired and bored with serving and fulfilling your purpose? It makes no sense. How can you be tired and bored with fighting for the Lord and fighting for the promises made to your forefathers, our forefathers? How can you be tired of fighting or bored of fighting for righteousness? How can you be tired of, or bored for chanting down our enemy's empire? These same old quote-unquote tired scriptures are playing themselves out. And these same quote-unquote tired scriptures are our way out of here. This is our trump card. Whether you realize that or not. But let's get this next one, right? It says de-dollarization just got real. All right. Nearly 200 banks at risk for same fate as SWV study. And it says, let's see. Study, half of Americans believe media intend to mislead and misinform. A kingdom divided, right? Toxic chemical spill ignites water safety fears for 14 million people. All right, because over there in Ohio, you had another trail derailment, I believe, was spilled about 1,400 gallons of methanine, or I forget exactly what leaked. Let me see. Oh, even this is speaking about Philadelphia. 8,100 gallons of acrylic polymer solution leaked from a burst pipe at a chemical plant. All right. This is media loses confidence in preferred pronouns after you see it attacks Christian school. All right, love many waxing cold. All right, as well as men being lovers of themselves. You know, let's see. Let's get this in Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. Let's get into these precepts. All right, because as you've seen the titles of these different articles. All right, it's a product of what brothers read on a daily basis. You know, what we read week in and week out. All right, is the same thing that's playing out around the four corners of the globe and in your reality. All right, these same tired precepts are the ones that's making a showcase in your reality right now. This is Romans 13:11. And that now, in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. All right, and right now, all right, is the time to wake out of sleep. All right, this spiritual mental stupor, all right, that, the majority of our people have been put in, under the captivity here in America, Babylon the Great. Now is a high time to awake out of sleep. Why? Because the prophecies that the Lord left behind aforetime All right, the end time prophecies are now starting to play themselves out. All right, the love of many waxing cold. We're showing Matthew the 24th chapter, earthquakes in diverse places, wars and rumors of wars, sedition among men. We're seeing the MOTB playing out slowly but surely. Not slowly, but we're seeing the MOTB playing out. All right, rapidly. The infrastructure for that is being set up as we speak through these bank collapses, through the de-dollarization. They're going to collapse this present monetary system and arise with another one. And the next one they're going to arise with is going to be one that they're capable of controlling more than they control now. All right, which goes into Revelation 13 and 16. All right, that they may that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the he that had the mark, that charagma. All right, they're getting ready to transition into another monetary system. All right, that's able to control buying and selling, commerce, which will essentially put them in the God seat, so to speak, which is, what they hope to accomplish pursuant to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. All these tired scriptures, all right, give us the mind state of Esau Edom, give us the plans of Esau Edom, gives us the ins and outs of what he hopes to achieve, and gives us the end all be all of his endeavors. So how can these precepts how can these scriptures be tired to you? It's playing itself out, man. This is our trump card. This gives us a bird's eye view on everything that's going on in the earth today. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. All right, and with it being said that our salvation is nearer than we believe, all right, that would mean that Jacob's trouble, all right, the hour of temptation is nearer than what we believe, right? Because that we know that, as it says in Acts the 14th chapter, the 22nd verse, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. All right, so we have to go through this tribulation period in order to enter into the kingdom. All right, so before our salvation, the judgment is going to come. All right. And right now we're seeing the stage being set for judgment to run rampant in the earth. For judgment to proceed in the earth as it is written, right? It says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. All right, let's get this. In 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. This is another precept that comes out frequently, and even more frequently here in these latter days. Why? Because it's speaking more here in these latter days. All right, just like it said in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, where it said, in the latter days, what? It said Habakkuk 2 and verse 3, for the vision, speaking out of the prophecies, is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right, and right now we're in that appointed time to where the visions, all right, the prophecies are speaking, all right, by way of the Lord's mouthpiece, his prophets. And it's not lying. All right, what the prophets are warning you about regarding the MOTB is right before your face. The infrastructure is being set up right before your face. All right, what the prophets have been warning about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai regarding World War III is happening right before your face. These nations are starting to hate the horde, are starting to conglomerate against amongst each other. All right, which is all a part of prophecy. Okay, what the prophets have been warning you about earthquakes in diverse places. Go look it up. It's happening. Wars and rumors of war, uproars of the people. Go look that up. There are uproars of the people happening in over 14 countries right now. That's unprecedented. That hasn't been so for many years. What we're seeing right now is history in the making. The love of many waxing cold. That's speaking. Sedition among men, famine, both of the word and of bread. Are these things not speaking? Pestilence. Excuse me. These things not speaking. So it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So let's jump back. Second Ezra 15 and verse 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right. And these words are faithful and true. These are words that we can bank on at the end of the day. Why? Because look at it. These words, these prophecies have withstood the test of time. All right, the Babylonian captivity, the Persian, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, all right, the American captivity. All right, these prophecies that we read on a daily basis have withstood the test of time. They've upheld themselves. And they still are upholding themselves and playing it, and they're playing themselves out. So guess what? These words are faithful and true. They're not tired. They're not boring. They're faithful and true. And they're happening. The only reason, or the only possibility of this being born to you, these words being born to you, is if you're not watching properly, if you don't have a understanding of what's going on. Do you not understand that as these prophecies play out, the closer we get to the kingdom, the closer we get to Yahushua returning? Tired, you say? Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of this water. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right. And we're seeing these things playing out. All right, it says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and her hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching her wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, let's jump down. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Hey, let's get this. Verse 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Heavenly Father shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another, shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Race wars, class wars, right? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So we're speaking about full-on anarchy, a full-on concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. That's what the definition of sedition is, a concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. And that's exactly what we're seeing brewing up in society today. All right, what did one of the articles read? Study, half of Americans believe in media intend to mislead, and misinform. All right, and a lot of these Americans have lost faith and lost trust in their government. They've lost faith and they've lost trust, all right, in this United States of America. All right, they lost trust in this place because the foundations that this place was founded upon, they're slowly slipping, from this place. They're slowly slipping. And a lot of these redneck Edomites don't like it. And a lot of these regular Edomites don't like it because their way of life is being affected, which is their loss, they're 3-time losers. But it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard the kings nor princes. And you see now how, even more now, more so nowadays, people aren't really regarding the words of these senators, regarding the words of these presidents, like they did back in the past. Really, people are starting to see the election and starting to see, this presidency and, these elected officials for the joke that it is. People are now starting to see that there are bigger forces at hand that control what we see on a daily basis. There are bigger forces that control your life. The president doesn't control your life. The Senate doesn't control your life. The Congress doesn't control your life. Rather, those in control of the resources control your life. And those in control of the resources are now in a state to where they're trying to hoard those resources, all right, and claim dominance over the face of the planet Earth. And a lot of people are realizing that, and now a lot of people are starting to buck up, but it's too late. It's too late. It's too late, baby. It's over with. It says, in the course of their action shall stand in their power, and man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. And he's speaking about, these different checkpoints. All right. Nowadays, they're speaking about these 15-minute cities. All right. Which, if you don't know about, you should go look it up immediately. All right. These 15-minute cities. All right. Along with martial law. All right. That's going to be implemented during the time of Jacob's trouble. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, these are the times that we're coming into, and you can really see it if you're paying attention. All right, but if these scriptures are tired to you, you won't be privy to these things. If you've been bored with prophecy, if you've been bored with this ministry, you won't be privy to these things. And how the hell? I'm flabbergasted at how this can be born to you. How serving your purpose can be born to you. In this world, you had no purpose. We had no purpose. We had no direction. The Lord gave us a direction. All right. A direct beeline to the kingdom through the straight gate. The Lord gave us a purpose. He gave us answers to what's going on the earth, why things are happening, how things are happening, who's bringing it. Lord willing, if we're the elect, how we're going to get out of this. How can this be born to you? How can these scriptures be tired? Let's get this. Let me see. We're going to get this 2 more and then we'll close it out. This is going to be 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 17. It says, woe's me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right, and these things that we're witnessing right now are just the beginning. All right, we read, right, in Daniel the 12th chapter, about a time like never before since there was a nation. This is Daniel 12:1. And at that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince, who is standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And that at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. All right, so if this is just the beginning, all right, of famine, of pestilence, of great death, of mourning. Imagine what's to come, all right? Imagine what's to come. And our only way out of what's to come and what is right now is through faith, through the mercy of the Lord, all right, and through our understanding of what we're a part of, understanding of the Heavenly Father's will, and our understanding of prophecy, our understanding of the entirety, the fullness of the Scriptures. That's our way out of this. Like it says in Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that times and strength of salvation, right? That's our way out. So how can you be tired of your only way out? You should be rehearsing these things. Like the elder apostle Gabbard says all the time. Repetition is the father of skill. And the more you go over these precepts, the more you go over these scriptures, the more you start to internalize it. You start to internalize the faith of our forefathers, the faith of Yahweh Shai. You start to internalize these prophecies. You start to internalize the dark sayings, the parables, the wisdom, the understanding. You start to internalize these things, which is what the Lord intended for us to do from the very beginning. Internalize his words. Not just read them and read them and read them without applying them. You understand? But it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And then, even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. All right, it's the time we're coming into, and that's why, all right, going to this last tired old precept, Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 7. It says, verse 6, and say not his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. Make no turn to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. All right, so make no turn to turn to the Lord, because suddenly these things are going to happen. Just like suddenly this whole pandemic happened, all right, and things were turned upside down. Suddenly the MOTB is going to come, and then suddenly after that, World War III is going to kick off. And then very suddenly after that, the Lord is going to return, all right, and put in subjection all these heathenistic kingdoms and deliver his elect. These things are going to happen suddenly, man. So make no turn to turn to the Lord. All right, right now, while mercy is still in season, like it says in the book of Sirach 35 in the last verse. All right, mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction. So seek mercy now. All right, seek the Lord now. All right, seek the Lord now. All right, and be on fire for your purpose. Wake up regarding your purpose. Shake that tired shit off. Shake that bored shit off. All right, and lock in. Now more so than ever. That being said, that's all I had to say tonight. Lord, witnesses edifying unto you elect. Shalom. Stay up.